Let me now introduce to you Dr. M.P. Punia, Vice Chairman, AICTE. He'll be delivering the keynote address on the third day of Upright Global Education and Skill Conclave. Topic will be revolutionizing India's skill landscape to create a future-ready workforce. How can India emerge as a global skill hub? We welcome Dr. M.P. Punia. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Souvik.
Dr. Punia, your thoughts on how revolutionary it is becoming for Indian landscape to create the future-ready workforce. How can India emerge as a global skill hub?
So thank you very much. First of all, I was listening some academic leaders, and they were concerned about innovation, the way changes are taking place in education. For All India Council for Technical Education, this time is a very, very difficult time, in fact, and many changes are taking place, implementing those changes and making our young generation, in fact, of a great use, particularly for the society. That's the, in fact, serious task in front of us, that this young population which we are having, they are just like human beings. How we can convert them into a human resource, and human resource not only for our Indian conditions, for we Indians. In fact, they should be able to dominate, they should be able to deliver, they should be able to compete anywhere in the world. That type of environment in our academic institutes will have to create. And that acceptance will be coming only if there will be a strong balance between the attitude of the children, the knowledge component which they are having, and the skills which they are carrying with them. If all three, if you are combining all together in a balanced pattern, then certainly there will be a great hope. Some of the slides I'll be showing, and one case study also. Actually, I have worked as a principal also in one of the government institute before joining AICTE. So what exactly are done and what sort of changes are tried there, it may not be 100% foolproof system for providing skills and knowledge, but some experiences I'll be sharing with all the participants who are connected with this. First of all, I'll congratulating State Government of Telangana, Technical Education Department Telangana, all the academic institute, and a news network. This news network which is connected, it is APEX. They should be congratulated and hope some good things, good initiatives which are being taken by everyone in the country. They should be spreading those initiatives, in fact, in a positive sense. Normally what happens, whatever may be done, the positive face of that one is not getting reflected, it is not getting spreaded. So certainly it's the responsibility of everyone's, and particularly our media houses, that those positive facets of the initiatives, it has to spread. It should go to parents, it should go to industries, it should go to children. So that's a very, very important time and very important initiative which has been taken by state of Telangana. They should be congratulated. Some of the slide, next slide, you please show. I'm saying the technical institute should be self-reliant. They should not be dependent upon anyone. In fact, everything related to industries, related to academic activities, related to connect to society, everything should be inside the institute. As Honorable Prime Minister of India is saying, the country should be Atmanirbhar. I'm saying, first of all, our institutes, our cities, our villages should be Atmanirbhar. Then country, certainly it will be Atmanirbhar. The challenge which whole world is having, particularly for this young population, the total population of the world is around 7 billion. Out of 7 billion, 1.3 billion are in the range of 15 to 24 years, means young population. Throughout the world, a strong part is in the range of 15 to 24. But out of that one, around 20% young population, they don't have education, they don't have skills, they don't have even employment. So skill, employment and training, this education is most important. Then only we can say that we'll be able to change this whole world, and it will be a happy place to survive, to live. Next one. In India, around 25 crore are in the age group of 15 to 24. But out of that one, some 24% population, around 6.2 crore children are not having even a single component of education or employment or skills. It's a very, very serious challenge. Country will be growing if human potential is getting explored. If exploration is not there, and that potential will be coming if we are educating them, if we are providing a proper platform to them to grow, then only situation can change. Otherwise, this young population, one time it may come, they can become a challenge for everyone. The serious challenge, next one, the serious challenge which we people are having as a regulator. Next slide. The challenge which we are having in as a regulator in our country, if you see the status of technical education, every year we can accommodate around 3.2 million students in technical education. When I'm saying technical education, it is engineering, management, pharmacy, architecture, arts and crafts, design, everything. If I'm combining all together, huge infrastructure it has been created. We are having 10,500 plus technical institutes in the country, and they can accommodate around 30 to 33 lakh students every year in technical education. It's very, very strong base, strong platform, strong base for education it has been. It is more than the population of Singapore. Total population of Singapore is 30 lakhs. And in our technical education, we can accommodate every year 32 lakh students, more than 32 lakh students. We are having a system of IITs, NITs, triple IITs, central universities, IIMs, and this means branded institutes in the country, and they are in a great demand. Against, I think, one seat in IIT, some thousands of students are dreaming. But the technical education system which we people are regulating, the affiliated colleges which are there in the country to whom we are regulating, here biggest challenge is the infrastructure which has been created, say for 32 lakhs. We are able to attract only 18-19 lakh students every year. Roughly 40% of our infrastructure is unutilized. In country like India, if 40% infrastructure, which is of a quality infrastructure where huge investment it has been done, if it is unutilized, then it's a very, very challenging task. If you are having a hotel business, if occupancy is only 40-50%, it won't survive. So biggest challenge in front of us is even the financial sustainability, quality account, the access, equity, everything. But same time, with quality, the survival of these technical institutes are also very, very important. The students who have taken admission, say 18-19 lakh students who have taken admission, actually students who are graduating, it is around 14-15 lakhs. So around 4-5 lakh students are in between getting dropped. Probably we people are unable to create interest, or they are unable to pay fee, or they are failing. So large number of students are being dropped out in between. And the last hour which I am showing, fourth one, that is year wise when I am showing, the actually students who are getting jobs. So our capacity is 32 lakhs, admissions are 18-19 lakhs, actually students who are graduating, that is 13 lakhs, and students who are getting acceptance through industry for the purpose of employment, or in the area of entrepreneurship, or for the purpose of higher studies, that number is around 7 lakhs. So there is a huge mismatch. In fact, if students who are going through this serious academic process, where a lot of time they are spending, lot of money they are spending, and if they are not getting acceptance, particularly for the betterment of the society, it will be a serious challenge. If someone is unemployed, or someone is uneducated, and if he is unemployed, it hardly matters. He will be spoiling only one family. But if someone is educated, and if he is not getting acceptance in the society, then it will be a very, very serious challenge. The children will be having AK-47. They'll be asking many questions from we academic leaders, that why we are not getting acceptance, what are the shortcomings. Next one. Many a times we are discussing with industry people also, that why you are not accepting our graduates. Great academic environment we have created into the institutes, what are the shortcomings? First of all, they are saying there has to be a strong balance between attitude, knowledge, and skills which is being getting acquired. As far as our vocational courses are concerned, they are not getting acceptance, that only we are concentrating on skills part. And that skill also in the society is assuming that if someone is having only skills, they are downgraded. In the society, that acceptance is not there. Our vocational courses, where hands-on part is more, the society is not giving any recognition to them. Industries are saying a combination of the skill, knowledge, and attitude, it has to be. And many suggestions they are giving. Next one. They are saying end of 4 years, end of 3 years of diploma, or end of 4 years after doing graduation, you are giving a mark sheet, and in mark sheet it is written that this is particular branch, and the percentage of marks of this friend are say 60%, 70%, CGPA some 7, 8 like this one. They are saying we are not interested in CGPA. We are interested that what they are able to do, what sort of communication skills, what sort of decision making capabilities, what sort of core competencies they are having, their ICT skills, their confidence, their self-motivation abilities, their creativity, their innovative skills, their planning skills, their time management, everything. They are looking into many attributes which are useful for the betterment of the industries. They are saying the day when they are coming out from the university, immediately they should be able to deliver in our industries. We don't have time. We don't have time to train them. We don't have time to educate them. What sort of skills it is getting accepted by us, that has to be provided in academic institutes. But academic and in academic institutes, they are saying whatever skills, whatever knowledge you are providing, it is outdated. Your curriculum is outdated. Long back, whatever you design developed, even for steam engines, those contents you people are teaching. Then they are saying practically your students are quite weak. Your students are unable to read engineering drawings. Civil engineering students are unable to read even engineering drawings. Their attitude, their ability to communicate, their ability to take decisions, giving leadership in the industry, they are bringing in fact to our academic institutes. So certainly we'll have to change the working environment which we people are having, and for that purpose even role of teacher is very important. If our teachers are not confident, if teachers are not having those skills which industries are expecting, those sort of attitude, if we are unable to create into the minds of the students, then certainly acceptance won't be. We people will have to change. The next one. They are saying the graduate outcomes related to core skills, engineering skills, problem solving, design, development, solving the system, designing new systems, everything. They are saying so core skills should be stronger, and even this NBA accreditation also expecting that one, that at least minimum these core skills, it has to be in the core of the students. Next one. And then they are saying whatever knowledge students are having, they should be able to apply, they should be innovative, and their innovation, their idea should be in such a way that it can change society, it can help society. Their contribution should be visible for the betterment of society. So that sort of mindset of the students industries need. In fact, they don't want those type of students who are moving in a particular discipline, in a particular direction, without having any initiation in their mind. Those type of students they don't need, in fact. So that type of environment into our academic institute, through our curriculum, the way it is being delivered to the students, even the assessment system which we people are having, everything, it has to be changed, and it has to be aligned with the needs of the community, in fact. Next one. And about these graduate attributes related to environment, sustainability, ethics, individual team working, communication, lifelong learning, everything is needed in the core of the students. Then certainly they can change, their outcome will be better, and their confidence level will be quite high. Next one. And teachers should be their heroes. Students are saying we want those type of teachers who can provide everything which is needed by this society. So role of teachers are very important, and there has to be a strong partnership between teachers and students. There has to be a strong friendship, and not inside the institute. And through this new education policy, we are implementing now a professional dean in every institute, which will be connecting even those students who have been graduated some 10 years back. They'll be connecting them to institute, even for their lifelong learning. If some problems they are facing, again those things will be taught by teachers inside the academic institute, so that they can cope up with the changes which are taking place with a rapid pace. So connect of students with teachers, with academic institutes, it is very important, and continuous connectivity is very important. Next one. So the case study which I was just mentioning, I was working as a professor at Malviya National Institute of Technology, Jaipur. It is Government of India Institute. I was professor there. In 2004, I planned to become principal, because principal is having a lot of power and all. So that sort of dream I was having, and I have been offered that appointment. I was working in Government of India. But state government, government of Rajasthan, has offered me principalship in government institute that is located at Bikaner. Bikaner is a desert. The temperature in summer is some 48, 49 degrees Celsius. Water is saline, and the type of institute which has been offered to me, that institute was supposed to run in self-financing mode without any government help. The revenue was also was supposed to be generated by me inside the institute. It was in self-financing mode, so whatever fee was supposed to come, that was my earning in that institute for running the institute. Next one. This was the academic institute, previous one. This was the academic institute where I became principal in 2004 in this desert. Students were studying without any infrastructure, without any teacher, no library, no laboratory, nothing is there in that institute. Around 500 students were studying. They were paying some 70,000 rupee fee every year. The first day when I joined there, I discussed with the students, how is the academic environment? They said, sir, wonderful. Academic environment is very good. No teachers, no classes, no laboratory, no library. We are doing coping in the examination, and even your presence is not needed. Why? From Jaipur you came here. So it was a very, very tough situation for me. Students without teachers, they were inside the institute. 500 students were studying without any infrastructure, any teachers. So it was a difficult time for me. Even it was difficult from where I should start. Only 2 decisions are taken. Many of the academic institutes may be connected, they may be listening. 2 decisions are taken. Even the students who are studying there, I said, except electricity and raw material, I won't purchase anything. Anything which is being done, which is the need of the institute, it has to be manufactured into the institute itself. And who will be coming at Bikaner for giving jobs? If academic institutes are available in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, and many of the multinational companies, the industries are in those regions only. Who will be coming to Bikaner? Bikaner will be coming only if you are having something special attribute in your personality, then only they'll be coming. You people are physically strong because from rural area you are, mentally you are strong, your attitude is good. If you can enhance your hands-on part, then certainly your acceptance will be stronger. So I tried to convert that academic institute into industry. Can everyone think that anything which is being needed by industry, can we create that type of environment into our academic institute? So when the students are joining industries, many a time industries are saying that these are the shortcomings, these are the shortcomings. Can we fulfill those shortcomings inside the institute itself? So to every student I said, you wear previous one. So every student I said, even girls, boys, every student will have to wear this dress. They'll have to work by their hand, and manufacturing, it has to be done into the academic institutes. In workshops, we won't be saying that you please prepare one T joint or butt joint or left joint. Whatever students are doing, it should be useful product. It should be sellable in the market. We are tied up with district magistrate. We said whatever furniture, whatever the needs of the school, Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, anything is there, we'll be manufacturing for you people and we'll be selling. We have started this one. This institute has started getting converted into industry. Next one. Even this manufacturing, you see, it has been done by students, and it was being sold into the market. The students were thinking that we are just like entrepreneur. Our product is getting sold into the market. So confidence building of the students was something very, very special. Next one. Next one, this type of furniture, manufacturing, everything we have started doing this one. Next one. Even I hired some retired technical persons who were technicians, in fact, who were retired. I hired them. Finally, I was having around 700 technical persons who were educating our students in special skills, in fact, in special vocational skills. And even this casting part, the aluminum casting and all, and according to the needs of the industries, we were manufacturing here. Next one. These are the products which were manufacturing. Around Bikaner, there are ceramic industries, insulator industries. They are manufacturing insulators, but they need special dyes of aluminum. Our technicians, our students were manufacturing those dyes. We were selling to them. We were purchasing scrap, aluminum scrap with 130 rupees per kg. We were selling that one around 850 rupees per kg, this aluminum. The savings which we were having, it was for the development of the institute, for the purpose of the people we have appointed, and even for providing facilities to the students. Next one. Our internship, the policy of the internship which we were having, After first year, inside the campus, you please take intensive. Our workshops, our laboratories, our computer center, our teachers are free, technicians are free. So first year intensive, after first year intensive, which we are having, it is inside the campus itself. After second year, we were connecting our children with the artisans who are sitting on the roadside, the mechanics, the technicians who are repairing mobile, who are repairing scooters, who are repairing air conditioners. We were connecting with them. And even many a times we were inviting those technicians into our campus for providing training to them also. So there was a strong connect between the mechanics, the technicians, and our students. So after second years, at small places, the students were taking training. After third year, we were saying inside the industries, actual industries, you people should be able to go. We were providing linkages to them to enter into the industry. And during final year, they should be able to sit into the library and they should provide the solution of the problems. So that sort of link we have provided in that academic institute at Engineering College, Bikaner. The infrastructure, morning time, we were operating one engineering college, afternoon another engineering college, third shift polytechnic, night ITI we started, MBA, MCA, pharmacy, anything you name. Every sort of course was available. The multidisciplinary activities with new education policies saying even in 2005, 6, 7, 8, we have started those multidisciplinary activities also. So my ITI students were practically were strong, engineering students theoretical were strong, even projects which were giving, we were having 2 students from engineering, 2 students from polytechnic, 1 student from ITI, 1 student from management, so doing marketing of that product. So that sort of environment we have created into that institute. Next one. We in media, we became popular because many initiatives our teachers were taking. In media also we became popular. Next one. So in one engineering college, there were 4 colleges now, and the intake becomes some 2000. Total students were studying that time when I entered. AICTE has put that institute in no admission category in 2004 because infrastructure was not available, no teachers were available. In 2008, our intake became 2000. Total number of students in 2009, I was having around 7,000 students in that institute. Our fee collection was around 30 crores. And in that area, it has become one industry. It has become a big academic industry.
So Dr. Punia, if you don't mind, you can kindly.
Just I'll close. Okay. I won't take much time. Many industries have started getting connected with that one. Next one. Bank, everything, every sort of facility in that desert, it has been created. Next one. Our canteen, our buses, second-hand buses repaired in the campus itself, and enormous job for the society it has started creating in that region. Next one. Next one. You see now infrastructure. You see infrastructure. Our students connected with border forces, army, everything. They were helping them. Their innovative ideas were getting implemented even for that border area because that's a border area to Pakistan, that region. Next one. These insulators which were being manufactured by the industries, they came to us. Can you test these insulators? They were getting tested at Baroda. A lot of time, money were being spent. We have started testing there itself in this academic institute. Industry came to academic institute, please do something. So that type of environment, if it can be created, whatever lectures we people are giving here, it become practical only. Practical solutions we people will have to provide for this skill, this education, this vocational education. If practicals are not there, no one will. Finally, my institute was like this one. It is in 200 acres without any government money, no government money, nothing is there. It is students' fee, and that it has been utilized into that one. Can we create these type of case studies into every corner of the country? Then there will be a strong hope that something our friends can do for the betterment of the country. Next one. This was my final shape of the college. Next one. What we people are suggesting now, AICTE is suggesting, no separate compartments between vocational education and professional education. It should be a common stream because society is not giving acceptance to the vocational. The branches will be allotting now according to the national education policy. After first year, we'll be allotting the branches. In first year, there won't be any branch. It will be a common study. Then every branch should be aligned with sector skill councils. The sector skill councils occupational standards should be aligned with international standards and connecting schools with higher education. The schools are working differently. Higher education institutes are working separately. Industries are working separately. We'll have to join all together, and efforts we people have started. We are imparting even training to school teachers also. School students should be provided internship into our higher and technical institutes. And component of emerging technologies also, it has to be in the skills. Next one. Teachers internship, we have started 1 month teachers internship into the industry. If teachers will be confident, then only shape of this education can change. Next one. We want acceptance of our graduates, research environment, innovation environment, entrepreneurship component into our academic institute. It should be strong, and acceptance of the graduates should be quite high. That exactly dream of AICTE. Next one. Thank you very much. I think some 4-5 minutes it's over. But what I had done, that I try to present in front of the teachers or students.
Thank you so much, Dr. M.P. Punia, Vice Chairman AICTE, for delivering the keynote address on day 3 of APEC Global Education Skill Conclave, revolutionizing India's skill landscape to create a future-ready workforce. How can India emerge as a global skill hub? And thanks for sharing with us the example of Bikaner Engineering College. I'm sure the norms laid down by AICTE, as I mentioned in your last 2 slides, employability, entrepreneurship, innovation, all this thing will help us to create that effective education ecosystem where the future lies. Thank you so much, Dr. M.P. Punia, Vice Chairman AICTE, for joining us and delivering the keynote at this. Thank you so much.